what is the identity of Georgia women's tennis under Drake Bernstein?
Yeah, good question. I mean, what I want, and it's still a work in progress, is I just want us to be a great representative of the University of Georgia and all the people here. I mean, this is, to me, I know to you, this is a place that's not just near and dear to my heart. It is my heart, right? Yeah. And I want our ladies to understand what Georgia is all about and what it really means to represent the G, and all the wonderful people around that support this. I mean, I just wanted to be a people thing, and I wanted to be a love thing. And again, it's still a work in progress, but I think we're moving in the right direction.
What's up, guys? I wanted to give you all a quick reminder about my friends at First American Bank and Trust. It is the best bank in all of America, bar none. That's why it's called First American. I don't understand money at all. I'm an idiot when it comes to that. I was a journalism major, have nothing to do with finances. However, my friends at First American have not only helped me personally, but as a business as well. They've gotten the Hammy Show LLC off of the ground, and it's not just about them managing my money. No, it is about the people there. My biggest thing that I focus on when it comes to a service is the people. I walk into First American to cash a check, and every single person is waving to me, telling me hello, how are you doing, and helping me with any question that I have regarding my money. So, if you're looking to buy a house, buy a car, open up an account, business or personal, check out First American Bank and Trust, because, like I said, it's the best bank in all of America, bar none. It's in the name. First American Bank and Trust, the presenting sponsor of the Hammy Show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hammy Show, presented by First American Bank and Trust. We have a very special guest with us today. It is none other than the head women's Georgia tennis coach, Drake Bernstein, a national champion as of recent, has many national championships in your short tenure here at Georgia as head coach. Drake, thanks for being here, man.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
Good to start the day this way, buddy.
Heck yeah. Well, it has been a wild run in your short tenure here, but we got to start with what just happened, clinching a national championship at the indoor in one of the most dramatic fashions of a national championship, or in collegiate tennis, really. Yeah. Talk about just the atmosphere, what your thoughts were going into it, and then the day of, and kind of winning it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was a pretty special trip. You know, we were supposed to play here in Athens for the first 2 rounds of this event, and we got iced out.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we have 5 freshmen on this team, and so we were looking forward to seeing them play. Well, you know, we get iced out. We kind of automatically advance because we're the highest seed, and then we go play Georgia Tech after that, go play UNC, and after that, it's off to National Indoor. So we're 2 matches in with 5 freshmen, and rolling into indoors, really all we were trying to figure out was, what does our team look like? We have no idea.
Yeah.
We have no idea what's our level, how are we going to compete, all of these things. And so really the goal of indoors was just to find out about ourselves. And Friday we played Virginia, and we won the match, and I'm not convinced that it was our best showing, but I think our team responded really well the next day and played LSU in the quarters, beat LSU, very good team. I think they've got a chance to win it all. Following day we played Auburn, or 2 days later we played Auburn in the semifinals, who is another, I think that a lot of people would consider them a front runner for NCAAs as well. And we're down 3-1 in college tennis. You played a four right. matches, right? And so we're down 3 matches to 1. We have to win all of the matches left. Well, we're down match point in the second set on Icicle Mertz court. So team match point. We lose this point, we go home. And somehow she saved the match point, comes on. We win at court number 5. Then on court number 1, we beat the former number 1 player in the country, and then Icicle comes back and wins her 3rd set. So if we go to the finals, we kind of dodged a bullet, and we felt like the cat may have used 9 lives that day. And then going into the final, we're playing Ohio State, who's traditionally a great indoor team. They have a great team culture. They compete really well. They do things the right way. It was going to be kind of a straight up match. And again, for us going into the tournament, wanting to see where we're at, right? Like, it's perfect test. Let's see where we're at. Well, we get to play a final. It's a great experience for everybody. Came out and played a good doubles point. So we're up 1-0. started off hot in singles, and then after that, they kind of made a push, and we kind of took the foot off the gas a little bit. I think it's normal when you have a young team, and all of a sudden we find ourselves in a hole where Denise Dillick on court 3 is having to save 4 championship points. So again, we're 1 point away from losing.
Right.
And she saved all 4, and she gets 1, and she won it on her first. And I was like, man, it was a really special moment. She's done a lot of work on the mental side, and she's come a long way. And it's always fun as a coach to see the kind of behind the scenes stuff pay off.
It was crazy. We were talking about it before, how young this team is in comparison to last year's team, which was very experienced, had a lot of talent on it. But there's a lot of new faces here. Is that the biggest difference between this team and last year's team and prior teams to that? Or is it something else that really separates this?
No, I think that's the big difference. I mean, we part of having a group of seniors last year and 4 seniors was that it's familiar faces. Like this is kind of the faces of Georgia tennis, and now that's gone as new faces. And I still feel like we're in a place where everybody's trying to figure out what their role is. What is my role the same as what it's been in past? Is it different? Do I have to lead in a different way? I'm still learning the team. Again, we're only 6 matches into the season.
Yeah.
And so I'm still learning. There's still things that we 100% have to do better. We've still got to learn the team side, the college tennis side. That's different about the individual from juniors. So we're still a work in progress, but it definitely is a different take than what it's been in the past.
So I wanted to talk about the coaching style. How have you tailored your coaching to this team, or retailored it as of from last year or previous years to kind of go with the flow with this team? Have you figured that out?
No, I mean, I don't know that we've figured it out yet. It's constantly retailoring.
Yeah.
I mean, it's constant, and you're always adjusting. You're always looking for the next thing that needs to improve. And thankfully, again, even in the short period of time this team has taken on what we felt like needs to improve, they've done it. Like I said, there's still a lot that we need to work on, but like I said, constant tailoring around here.
Yeah, I love it. So we talked about the craziness of that final match in the national championship bout. It's from a freshman. You get that performance. I know as a coach you have to have that confidence, like, oh, we still got this. But does that doubt creep in? Or are you like, oh, man, we'll get him next time? Or...
I mean, I think we've kind of gotten to the point where we're ready to let the chips fall as they may. I mean, if we win the match, great. If we lose the match, tough. Well, either way, we wake up the next day and we go back to work. And so I think that takes a lot of the stress off of feeling, I mean, to be honest, having a couple of them in the bank in previous years helps you simmer on that front. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit less about we have to win this match. We only get one chance. I mean, we know these things.
Yeah.
My job out there is to, when everything's coming down to it, my job is to see how our player is responding, so I know how to help her the next time the most. And if I get that out of it, then I feel like I've done my job for the day.
So it seems like it's like inbred into this program now. It's just a winning culture, and I feel like that has that confidence boost, like you said. Having a few of those trophies in the case definitely is a boost when they walk by it every single day in the hallway. So how do you get to that level where you just have your team ready for high pressure moments? Is it more of a coaching thing, or is it just kind of them figuring out themselves at the collegiate level?
I think that they understand. If there's one thing that the group understands, it's that these results are really kind of determined before the match is played. And they understand that the most important days of the week are the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practice days. So when we get out there, it's like, okay, well, we've done the work. Let's just see where it's at. And I think that they're confident, sure. But I think their confidence comes from the place of having done the work. And so, again, I don't think it's a coaching thing. I think that's a player responsibility thing. And fortunately, they've taken that on.
That's awesome. So The championship standard is set as of previous years, but this year, this team has that taste of hoisting a trophy.
Mm-hmm.
What does that do for momentum carrying it into the outdoor season and conference play?
I mean, really, I think it's the only thing that it does is it just shows you that you're capable and it shows you that you can. If that winning national indoors bleeds into a complacency or the way that we work this week, for example, that's not a good thing, right? Yeah. So I think that we're making sure to keep that in perspective. We did do that. That was fantastic. When we set out to start the year, the end goal is not to win national indoors. It's the first thing of the year. So really, we know we have a long way to go. SEC is as challenging as ever. I think there's probably 9 or so teams that belong in the top 10, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Really, I would say 9 belong in the top 5, but can't work it like that. But we know we've got big challenges ahead, and we're ready to work for them.
Another quick reminder about my friends at Hughes Subaru. Hughes Subaru is powering the Hammy Show on the road as we take off for college campuses and stadiums around the entire United States of America. We do it all in a 2019 Subaru Outback from Hughes Subaru right here in Athens, Georgia. It would not be possible for us to go all across this country and follow sports if it weren't for Hughes Subaru. Not only is my 2019 Outback the best car I've ever owned, I got it from the best dealership in the entire world. Hughes Subaru, if you are looking for a car, check them out. But if you have a Subaru, you need some service done, their parts and services department has the best people, and it is the best in the business. It's fast, it's easy, and it's nice. That is the key to Hughes Subaru's absolute stunning success. The people. The people there are the best in the world. They greet you with a smile and they get your car done quickly. So, like I said, if you're in the market for looking for a car, check out Hughes Subaru. If you have a Subaru, take it to their parts and services. They're the best in the business. And it would not be possible for us to be right here and traveling all across America if it weren't for Hughes Subaru powering the Hammy Show on the road. So, we've talked about the national championship, but let's go 50,000 foot point of view. What is the identity of Georgia women's tennis under Drake Bernstein?
Yeah, good question. I mean, what I want, and it's still a work in progress, is I just want us to be a great representative of the University of Georgia and all the people here. I mean, this is, to me, I know to you, this is a place that's not just near and dear to my heart. It is my heart, right? Yeah. And I want our ladies to understand what Georgia is all about and what it really means to represent the G and all the wonderful people around that support this. I mean, I just want it to be a people thing and I want it to be a love thing. And again, it's still a work in progress, but I think we're moving in the right direction.
Yes. So that championship culture, it's obviously on the court, but a lot of it is off the court. And tennis is such a mental game. Not just competing every day in practice with these ladies, back and forth, competing for that spot, those top 6 spots. What is it that separates this team off the court that has that kind of championship culture and that winning mindset?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that, like I said, I mean, we're six matches in with a bunch of freshmen. It's like I said, when we went to national indoors, we're trying to figure out what this team's identity is, and I think that that's still a work in progress. We're still learning each other, but I don't know. I think maybe there's an expectation and hopefully a responsibility of what it means to put on red and black and what it means to go play and compete in red and black that separates us from others.
Yeah.
I hope that's something that we can take forward.
Yeah, for sure. So what's the biggest jump this young team, these freshmen that have just competed in junior tennis, what's that biggest jump transition into SEC play? You've played on the national stage, just won the indoor, but conference, like you said, it's the deepest it's ever been. What's that jump like for them?
Yeah, I mean, like, for example, we're headed to South Carolina this weekend. Going to be road tests. They always get fantastic crowds. I think that the big thing here in college, and especially in the SEC, is the requirement to back up your work. Mm-hmm. It's you did something very good. Well, that's awesome that it was last week.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time to move along, and you've got another challenge right in front of you. And in juniors, if you have a great tournament and then you maybe have a tough first round the next week, okay, well, I'll just move on. Well, in college, like, it's not really a choice to kind of have a lackluster performance. So
Yeah.
I think that demand of constant effort, constant attention is a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. Let me make sure that.
Oh, shit.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
This one will pick it up.
Okay.
So, no, you're good. You're good. All right, so NIL, transfer portal, it has greatly affected all of college athletics, every single sport. What do you look for when recruiting a player? Obviously, you don't want the player that's just going for the paycheck. You want the player that cares about the red and black, that wants to win at the college level. How have you kind of navigated that battle of this newness and this wild, wild west that is college athletics?
Yeah, I
now?
mean, I think it's a great question, and I feel like what we've tried to do is when we set out, me and Jared and Will, our associate head and assistant coaches, when we set out to do this, I think that the big reason that we came together so nicely as a coaching staff is because what we believed college tennis can look like, what it should look like. And we've got the setting out here. We've got all the pieces to make the number one college tennis experience out there. It is the greatest college tennis experience, right? And so we've tried to remain true to what we believe this experience should look like. And so in the recruiting, it's not sales with a bunch of NIL or this or that, or we're going to take you to 1 million pro tournaments in the spring. Like, that's not what we want. We want a team thing. We want to build it here. And we want it to be, I don't know, old-fashioned may not be the right word, because I think that those days are a little bit numbered, if not gone.
Yeah.
And but yeah, we want it to be a authentic college tennis experience. And so in the recruiting, that's what we focus on, and we're focused on finding the right people who want that experience. Some people would much rather have the NIL. That's totally fine. Our thing is do you want to be a bulldog and compete on the greatest stage in college tennis?
Yeah, that's amazing. So one of the most interesting facets of college tennis is domestic versus international players. Language barriers, just culture change, culture shock when you get to a town like Athens and the college atmosphere. How do you kind of mend those relationships and grow a team chemistry with so many players from so many different backgrounds?
I mean, I think it's obviously it's something you do have to pay attention to, but we try to really celebrate the individual here, right? And that doesn't really matter if you're from California, if you're from Winder, Georgia, if you're from Ukraine, if you're from Russia. It doesn't really, we're going to learn who the person is and try to celebrate that. So again, I don't really know that it matters where you're from. If we've done our job well recruiting and kind of vetting the character coming into the locker room, I think that stuff takes care of itself.
Yeah, for sure. So what makes Georgia this attractive destination for a recruit? It's one of the most historic tennis programs in all of the country, but it's a new age, and you have this NIL, you have the transfer portal threat. What makes Georgia so special?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things is that they know that the tennis experience is going to be intense. May not be the perfect world, but it's going to be taken seriously. And we're not just going to roll the balls out and say, we hope you get better. We're going to give them individual attention in their development. If they have professional aspirations, we want to work in a way that is in line with what it looks like to be a pro tennis player. And I think that that's becoming more common in college, and fortunately we've had some players take that path.
Yeah, I got you. So what separates a team, like you said, there's 9-10 teams that could be in the top 10 in the SEC, but you've hoisted the trophy at the end of the season. What is the difference, or what is the kind of factor that separates a championship team from a team that maybe falls short?
Yeah, it's a tough question. I wish I had the answer to it. But I mean, I think really what it comes down to is capitalizing on moments. There's in all these close matches, I think in any sport, you watch football, you watch basketball, there's look, I mean, if you make the three with 3 seconds left, you win. If you don't, you lose.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's being ready to, take advantage of these moments when they come. And again, we believe that that's taken care of in the work week.
Yeah, 100%. So, what are the biggest challenges in competing for an NCAA championship? You get the best competition in the SEC. So, does that gear you up for the national stage? I mean, you're going to face probably a lot of those teams in the tournament. So, what is kind of the progression through the season? You always want to be peaking, but like, how does the SEC get you ready for the national stage?
I mean, I think what we'll see is that the SEC for all teams in it will expose any flaws that you have to get ready for that final tournament in May. Again, like I said, I think there's something to having to show up every week. Every week, we're essentially going to be playing a top 10 level team every single week for 8 weeks, right? And so there's something demanding about the work that you're going to have to do just to be prepared for the weekend's matches. But in that process, you're getting ready for the end of the year too.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little coaching strategy. We'll talk in match real quick. You can't be on all 6 courts at once. And I know you've got assistant and associate head coaches that are at the other courts. How do you kind of navigate and focus on who needs to be, where you need to be, which court you need to be?
Yeah,
on?
that's something I have full trust in Jared and Will, and that's something that usually the night before the match we've got a pretty good idea. We're watching film. We've got a pretty good idea of which courts we're going to be on, and it might be an opponent that one of us is very familiar with. It might be, our player's voice, we're resonating with them at the time. It's really just kind of figuring out where each of us can be most effective. And then at that point, I mean, you just let the coach go do their job. Will was out there with Aishigul and when she's playing the Auburn match, and Jared has done a lot of the individual work with her, a lot of the on-court stuff, but Will just took the whole thing. He doesn't need us stepping on his shoulders. We have trust in him, and we just run from there.
That's awesome. So we'll go practice side now from coaching strategy. I don't want to be cliche, but practice makes perfect. That's the saying, as old as time. What does a practice week look like, those Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and getting ready? You know, I know it's an individual sport at some level, but you are a team.
Yeah.
And you're competing for those spots. How do you kind of manage that throughout the week in the practice schedule?
Usually our matches are on the weekend, Friday, Sunday, or Thursday, Saturday. So the heaviest work days are early in the week, and then as we get closer to the weekend, it might be zeroing in on game plans and how we're going to go out and play a particular match. A lot of it's individual work. It's tennis is an individual sport where if we can't just roll out the balls and say everybody's going to do this today.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work like that. At least you're not maximizing if you do that. And so we're paying attention to the individual. We're looking at video from last week to see what needs to get better for this week. And it's just like the word you used earlier, it's just a constant retailoring to get, ready week after week after week.
Yeah. So we'll go personal side. What lessons from both your playing career, being an assistant coach under Jeff Wallace, to now, what has been kind of a lesson that has stuck with you throughout the entirety of your tennis career that has helped you as a head coach now?
Yeah, I mean, I think coming into college, I had a really, really, really strong passion for tennis, and I was hyper competitive. And I think from Manny and Will Glenn, his associate head coach at the time, my two coaches, it was this learning that it's okay to go out there and leave it all out there and then let the chips kind of fall because the sun will come up the next day, whether you've won or lost. And I think that kind of freedom was a big deal for me because I would take it so personally if I would come up short. And now, again, I think it's a little bit more, you've done everything you can. What's there to worry about?
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, you have some of the most historic people in college tennis that have built this tennis program, both men's and women's, and Coach McGill and then Manny and then Jeff Wallace on the women's side. I know those have been massive mentors, as well as Will Glenn. Who else in the tennis world has kind of been that person for you that you've looked up to? Maybe a coach that you've kind of modeled your career outside of these walls of Georgia tennis?
Oh man, the fortunate thing is that you don't really have to leave Georgia
I know,
tennis.
that's
I've had an incredible mentor since I was about 14 years old, Jack Frierson, attorney in town, and we would hit together, and he was life advice, and he still is the first one that I call when things get tough. But that list of UGA tennis lettermen is long. You've got Trey Carter, you got Wade McGuire, you got Alan Miller, you've got again, it goes all the way down.
Yeah.
As deep as the ocean, and just having those guys and their support means a lot for sure.
Yeah, that's amazing. So personally, what is your motivation in a long, demanding season, week in, week out? What kind of keeps the legs moving, keeps the blood pumping for Georgia tennis?
It's just I love this place and I love the people here.
Yeah.
That's my motivation day in, day out. I have an athletic director that gives us full support, and really an entire athletic department that supports the heck out of UGA tennis. And I feel a responsibility to push for them. And that's, I think, them and the people who have came before us, both that have built all of this. I feel a responsibility there. And that's, to the ladies in the locker room, that's what they came for. So I'm gonna hold up my end of the bargain the best that I can.
It's the power of the G.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
I love
right.
it. I love it. So NIL and the transfer portal, I feel like have somewhat overshadowed it, maybe from a fan perspective, an outside perspective. But something that has changed drastically since you played is the pressure of social media, and you're just out there. Their whole lives are pretty much documented on a cell phone camera. How do you manage a locker room, and how do the players manage that pressure of being way far more out there than I feel like it was when you played?
Well, believe it or not, you do have a choice.
Yeah, that's true.
And how much you engage. And no, I think it's a real thing, and I think it's definitely a challenge of modern athlete. There's more distractions than ever before. It's really easy to get lost in an hour of sitting on your phone when, hey, I mean, maybe 15 years ago, that was an hour that you were hitting serves.
Yeah.
And all these things, it is a challenge. I think it's just being intentional and being aware that it is an obstacle. And like clearly understanding yourself and what your priorities are, and being responsible with your time. I mean, it's way easier said than done, even plenty for me. I fall into the traps too. But yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah. So not only are you coaching these ladies to be the best they can be on the court, but being a collegiate head coach, you're kind of like that built-in parent once these ladies have left home. What life lessons off the court are you trying to instill in these young women as they maybe not go the tennis route, or they do go the tennis route, but in their professional careers?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're trying to teach the importance of people. And again, like I think that's what what's so special about Georgia. And I was actually talking with my wife, Cassidy, last night. It's like I just feel so fortunate to have so many great relationships, and I feel a responsibility to be able to pass on to these ladies what those relationships can do for your life. So if there's anything that I could teach, if I had my magic wand and I could teach anything, it would be to understand how great people are, particularly in this Georgia community.
Yeah, that is amazing. Final reminder is my friends at the Vinyl Frontier. The Vinyl Frontier is the coolest joint in all of America. It's right in Carrollton, Georgia, off of I-20 in the City of Dreams, just on the town square. It's a record store that has any record you could ever imagine. I'm telling you, it's all about the experience. If you're going down I-20 and you want a little pit stop, stop in Carrollton, Georgia, right there on the town square. Visit the Vinyl Frontier. Put an 8-track on the record player and listen to any record you could dream of on vinyl. talk to the guys behind the desk. They'll help you figure out what type of music you like, which artist is your favorite, and they will hook you up with that very vinyl that you were looking for. If you can't make it to Carrollton though, visit thevinylfrontier.com and you can find any record in the entire universe. I'm telling you, my friends at the Vinyl Frontier are the best in the business, and they're tuning up the Hammy Show. We're doing an athlete of the day every single day on social media at the Hammy Show on Instagram and at the_Hammy Show on TikTok. They are mixtaping it all for us, providing the music, and it's awesome stuff. So visit thevinylfrontier.com or their location in Carrollton, Georgia, and find any record on vinyl you could ever dream of. So let's go back to the 2026 campaign. We've talked about it a ton. You've already claimed a national indoor title. But what excites you most about this young roster as you continue throughout the 2026 season?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just to continue learning. I mean, that's obvious that we have a lot of stuff that we need to improve. I'm excited to see how we play out between now and May and see what kind of product we can put out there for NCAAs.
It's going to be awesome. I'm excited. So we'll take it even a step further. Where do you see this program, your program, in 3, 5, 10 years? What is kind of the progression of plan as you move forward throughout your career?
Yeah, I mean, we've done our recruiting largely through freshmen, and I'm excited about what's coming in the future, next year, what's young this year. That's why it's really important for us to be working on getting culture right now, because we just want to lay the firm foundation of what it looks like to be a Georgia Bulldog and have that be very well understood. And so if we do our job there, I think that tennis is going to take care of itself. It's just, it's going to be a blast. We're really excited about the future.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I know the national title, hoisting the trophy, is the epitome of success. But I think what I've learned, what everybody listening has learned, is it's not all about the trophy. It's not all about filling the case. What is the definition of success to you for this team?
Growth.
Yeah.
Growth. Like, I think just being able to step outside yourself and understand the bigger picture. If we can, at the end of the year, if we can all confidently say that we've been able to do that, then we've made good progress.
Yeah. So Georgia, I mean, just historic tennis program. What message do you give to these Bulldog fans? It is a tennis community that loves packing out this stadium behind us. So what do you say to those fans about this season coming out and supporting those ladies?
Yeah, I think obviously in NCAA years, the crowd becomes extra special. And I would just encourage them to get familiar with this group, get familiar with what Georgia tennis looks like, both the men and the women's team. The men are off to a good start this year too. They're an exciting group to watch. Come on out and enjoy some nice spring weather, maybe a baseball game, S14 parking lot, and enjoy your weekends out here.
Yeah, so we got to talk about Athens, the McGill Tennis Complex. It's back. Tournament is back here. What kind of specialness is that to have it back home?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody in college, and I probably can't say everybody, but I'd say the vast majority of college tennis has been itching to have it back here in Athens, and is excited for the return here. We're excited to display this town, display the facility, display the people here, the hospitality, and for really the whole country to get a taste of Athens.
Yeah.
Obviously, we would love to be playing deep into that tournament, but we're excited just for like the responsibility of hosting. We want to be an incredible host to everybody coming into town.
Yeah, so I know it's far away, and you're focused on South Carolina on Sunday, but has it been mentioned? Like, is it a motivating factor for this team that, hey, we can do this in our home stadium, or is that something that's like way back there?
Yeah, I mean, you said that we were focused on South Carolina this Sunday. Honestly, we're focused on Tuesday's practice.
Yeah.
So really, when we start talking about May, we're getting ahead. I think that everybody knows what's coming down the road here, what we're excited about. but we can't get lost living too far ahead. We have no days to waste. We have 0 days to waste. And so, it's just going to make the most out of today.
Yeah. So the biggest difference is obviously this home crowd. I mean, this is probably the best tennis fans in the country. And we might be biased, but I think a vast majority of the country would say so.
Yeah, not probably.
Yeah,
definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what is, is that home crowd, how much of a difference is that, if you can quantify that number?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, some days I feel like it's one entire matches for us.
Yeah.
It's like we have these momentum swings and you can kind of start to feel it coming before it happens. And one good thing happens on court 1 and then something on court 3, and now the crowd's in it. And next thing you know, it's just dominoes falling.
Mm-hmm.
What was a very close match, Georgia has run away with. And that's 100% attributed to the crowd and the atmosphere and the energy here.
That is my favorite part of college tennis at this stadium, is something like you said, the domino effect. Something great happens on court 1 and then on court 4, 3, 2, all that. And it just builds. And all of a sudden the opposing team has the life sucked out of them and you're just cruising. But there's a flip side to that. Y'all haven't played at home. What is it going to be like kind of navigating this team, this young team, in a crowd like that is so intense, that maybe hasn't played in an atmosphere like this?
Sure. Like I said, man, we got a lot of learning to do. We will find the balance of one of the cool things about coaching at Georgia is that we actually get to coach how to use a crowd and how to play in front of a crowd, right? And there's a balance of putting on a show, and maybe actually I think putting on a performance is a better way of putting it. Rather, we don't need to put on a circus. We just need to go play tennis and let a performance happen. But also acknowledging the crowd and using it to your advantage and playing with the people in the stands. I mean, that's a big thing. It takes learning. It takes attention. Like I said, we're fortunate that's something that we get to teach here at Georgia.
Yeah, there is an art to getting the crowd involved. Like you said, you're not trying to be a circus act, but you want to please the people at some level.
Crowd, yeah.
And with tennis, you can be focused on court 1 and you're focused on your woman and it's so electric when they get the crowd going. Sure. Is that part of the teaching of hey, put your arms up? Let's get the crowd.
I mean, look, if you're down a set in 4-1, maybe it's time to use the crowd.
Yeah.
I think it's not necessarily teaching, because it has to be natural for the student athlete, where that's really something that's kind of developed over their time here, and they figure out how they best use the crowd, and they figure out how engaged and when to engage. All of that stuff just comes with experience. Like I said, we have a lot of learning to do. There.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so legacy, it's amazing here. But I was talking with our mutual friend Trey Carter, and he said you're rewriting the history books. You have truly done something unprecedented in your young tenure here at Georgia as the head coach. Is that an added pressure, or is it something that you kind of ignore? What is it kind of handling that success, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that, to me, there are times where it's like, man, wait, it feels like yesterday I was a recruit that was just dying for the opportunity to come here.
Yeah.
And the way that everything has unfolded, it almost every day feels a little bit like a pinch me moment. And but as far as the record books, and that's not it. I mean, I have a job, and it's to teach, and it's to help a team grow, and it's to help represent Georgia the best that I can. And that's the day-to-day focus. I don't want to lose sight of that. At the end of it, we may look back and see how we did, 20 years down the road, hopefully. But for now, hands are full with responsibility of teaching kind of the Georgia way.
Yeah, I mean, the Georgia way is something that has definitely been ingrained in you through Manny, through Coach Wallace, and it's so cool to see you sort of extending that. I know you didn't want to use the word old school, but there sort of is like a historic feel, I guess you could say, of just you continuing on that legacy. But I think the coolest part about the University of Georgia, and we'll close with this, is it's not just a football school, or it's not just a baseball, or not just a tennis school. Every school every program has their own level of success and their own fan base that goes to the other games, goes to the other matches. What would you say to kind of that atmosphere of this Georgia community that is so supportive of the entire athletic program?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a great point. If you ask Connor Casey, Georgia is a tennis school.
Yeah.
It is a tennis school. But I think it's we've got, soccer, softball right down the road. We've got baseball right next to the tennis courts. You hear when baseball hits a home run, you hear it from the tennis courts.
Yeah.
We love Georgia. If Georgia had a checkers team, it would be well supported.
Yeah.
It's what makes this place so special. We'll go support anything. It's what I love to do. I love to go to a baseball game or a softball game on the days off. It's the place is Athens so special.
It is. I think the best seat in all of Athens, Georgia, is right at the top of that stadium.
Yeah.
And you can look
Two
over.
for one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you can look over, see the baseball game and some tennis. So I guess I should close with this. What's your final message to, I know we talked about the Georgia fan base, but what's your final message to not only your tennis team, but to this fan base, kind of about the season going forward and what you can get excited about?
Oh, yeah. Again, it's an NCAA year, so everybody's there's just a little bit of special feeling in the air where we know what's coming here when the weather starts to warm up and the flowers start to bloom right around Masters Week. We'll be really starting to feel it in the air. I just say, come on out and support the team. It's a great product, and we appreciate Georgia, the Bulldogs' love for this team and the support all the way.
Yeah, man, that's amazing. Well, you're the best. Thanks so much for joining.
Yeah.
It has been such a pleasure. We got to make this, I guess, an annual thing.
Come on.
This is awesome. But ladies and gentlemen, that does it for us. This is Drake Bernstein, a national champion. And this is the Hammy Show. I'm your host, Hammy Culpepper. We are presented by First American Bank and Trust. We will see you next time. And as always, remember, ham it up, ladies and gentlemen.